right button.
So should we,
Okay.
You guys are good.
should
Okay,
we move again to accept the, okay.
okay.
So,
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
so I just want to say, with the new COVID laws that are out here, we have to mask up. When you talk, you could take your mask down. We can
Okay.
actually understand.
Okay.
Okay, and then like the little part says, keep your mics off unless you are speaking, because what happens is
Okay, department reports. Chief, you're up.
Where's the mark? Right here. Good evening, council, mayor. Real short and sweet. Operations are normal. Do have an announcement to make. I did receive a conditional offer of employment from the city of Napavine that I've accepted. So that's going to happen at the end of the month, if all goes well with my testing. So that's something you guys should know about. And also, I guess you guys didn't get your stuff in there. I'll get that by the next meeting. So. Check. You set me up. You set me up to fail, Michelle. Okay. So, okay, I'll start all over again. Operations are normal. You did not get your information in your packet. I apologize. That'll be next meeting. I'll have that for you. Stats. I did get a conditional offer for the city of Napavine to take that position of chief up there. I did accept it. And so at the end of the month, we'll be leaving if all goes well with testing. So that's kind of what's going on. Any questions? Well, thank you.
Any questions for the chief?
Congratulations, first
Thank
of
you.
all. You deserve everything you get. I mean, that sounds, okay, sorry.
I agree with that, I guess. Michelle's been saying that the whole time.
So who will be filling your position here? Do you know, or be the new chief, or how will we
At
have?
this point, Sam is still going to be here as far as I know, and whether he gets that position is going to be up to the city, not myself. I think he's up to the task, so that's going to be up to you folks.
And to go along with that, I did talk to Sam a little bit about it. He's willing to stay here and become the commander in chief, but he says he can't replace the king.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. But I just would like to say that I love this city and I appreciate everything that's ever happened here. I mean, the citizens have been great. This is where I started. I will always have a place in my heart for this place. The council, not just you guys, but the whole time I've been here, have always been great. Mayors too, but Steve, you've been a pretty good mayor. You know, I've only had to deal with two, but you guys have been great. And I just really appreciate everybody that I've ever had to work with here has been great. This place is awesome. Just like to say that for the record. So anyway, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, chief. Mike?
You are, yeah, you pushed the button. You're a real prankster today. Hello, everybody. Yeah. Oh, he's having a ball. So, hello, everybody again. Glad to see everybody here. Glad everybody's feeling well and all that stuff. First of all, meters, they're going well. We're down to no help. It's John and I right now, but we're still working on them. We're still plugging away. To tell you the truth, we got, as soon as we get the rest of the registers that we have installed, we'll be real close to half done with the meters. So It's actually going pretty well. We're going to probably go to social media to get another guy or so to help with that, since the other ad is not really producing anybody. The kid that we had that was really good went back to high school. I offered him to quit school and come to work full time, but he said his dad probably wouldn't appreciate that. So we went ahead and cut him loose. So we had a electric glitch down in the plant. We traced it down to a surge protector. So right now, we're kind of researching to see if it's even needed, but it looks like it probably should stay. So I've got the electrician pricing and everything like that. We don't know what it's going to cost yet, but it goes inside one of the panels, and it surge protects one whole side, one whole panel, which has a lot of different functions in it. So basically, we don't want to burn up a whole side, so we need to have that fixed. So as soon as possible, we'll get that done. We unplugged it for now because it kept kicking everything out. Everything's working fine, so we're in good shape. But biosolids, we did all our testing and everything. We got our tests back. We sent the nanny off to the farm. There, it's now in ecology. He's waiting to hear back from ecology, and then we can start hauling our biosolids off for the year. So that went pretty well too. I don't really know how many loads we're going to have, but we're going to haul it local this time, not down to Woodland. We're going to haul it out by on Alaska, or in one of their farms out there. It's Fire Mountain. So that's even closer yet. So, and then the torch downs, still working. We got just about all the crosswalks are done. Got stop bars to do, some stop bars to do left, and the parking grids, and those to do. And then that will pretty much get that done. So hopefully we'll get a whole day on those tomorrow. I leave on vacation Thursday, so we won't get back to that until I get back. But so that's about it.
Any questions for Mike? Go ahead, Ron.
Did you have any adjustments that needed to be made because they changed the traffic pattern at the elementary school, the bus route, and how the buses go in and out? Did you need to make any changes because of that?
You know, it's back and clear out on 5th, and because they're driving clear out and behind. So that really hasn't been addressed yet, but
Well,
I noticed.
they change it again? It's effective today or?
Oh,
On
I
the
wasn't
buses?
aware.
Okay.
So are they going to go down the one way then? Like
No, they're going to put the buses back out front, I heard, where they used to be. And then they're going to try to encourage the parents to go around the back.
Well, it's working because they were lined up clear past the park, clear around.
Yeah.
They were backed out clear onto 5th.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many parents are taking their kids to school, but
A
there's
lot of
bunch.
them do, especially towards the beginning.
Yeah.
Especially
And
with the
it might
little
slow
ones.
down a little bit. We may have to look at it. I mean, there's really no room to put a lane there, a turn lane.
No.
So that may be something that we have to sit down and discuss and find out.
To see whether or not we inadvertently, by making it one way, whether or not we contributed to the problem or not.
Yeah.
Though it's hard to say because it seems intuitive that the decision to make that one way was the right one, but
Right.
obviously we need to do something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and it was a 2-lane. And so if they're gonna line the buses back up in front of the school again, couldn't there be a lane that they could get past the buses?
Yeah.
If they did go down the one way?
Sure.
So that might be something we talk to the school about. We have to have them give the parents a heads up that don't get caught clear back out on 5th, maybe
Yeah.
come down on 6th beside the buses.
Sure.
Have to be aware of the kids, of course, if there's a lot of kids running around there, but that just seems to be a pretty good fix on that one. And if it stays one way, they could just go the same way, line up that way.
Then the other question, the position on the help for the meters,
Yeah.
how many hours a week is that?
It could be up to 40 if they want to.
Oh, so that was my question, is whether or not there was a hesitation because of the
Hours
Yeah.
and the way we had it set up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I put it out there, at the potential for 40. It depends. I'm not gonna drain my budget on somebody that's not,
No, I understand.
you
that.
know, working. So,
Yeah.
and with Blake, great guy, but you know, he just wasn't producing. And that's why I had him down to, I think it was 3 days a week to start, because, you know, we kind of seen his colors a little bit towards the end of our projects. So I went ahead and hired him for the meter project. Started him at 3 days a week. He never really, you know, progressed. Peyton came on, started killing it. He was getting over 10 a day. So obviously he got 40 hours so we could get it done.
Sure.
So there's still quite a few hours, I think, left in the budget. So, you know, as soon as if we get somebody that's gonna at least do 10 a day. I mean, when I went out there, we did 14. You know, I'm old, fat and moldy. So just digging them up and putting them back in, you know, you should at least be able to do at least 8 or 10. So, and it's hot and, you know, weather wise and all that. I get that. We supply all the water and everything, give them breaks and all that. So, yeah, it's just that this project's kind of, you know, got to go. It can't just, you know, pay somebody and not get it done. So, but yeah, we can do 40 hours a week if they come in and
We hope maybe getting rid of the unemployment supplement will help too.
you know, it is pretty hard right now.
Yeah.
So well, we'll see how it goes. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's going to get done, and I'll make sure.
Sure. Sounds great. Thank you.
You bet.
Any other questions for Mike? None? Thank you, Mike. Michelle?
So in your packets, towards the back, there's a housing summit invite. So if you're interested in doing that, please let somebody know. And then also the elected officials training is coming up. So those that are new to council, it's very beneficial to go to that. And that way you could get some of your training done ahead of time. I'll also send this out to the other person running to see if they're interested in going, if they do make it, but that's what's going on. And then budget season's just right around the corner. So we'll be starting our budget workshops and getting going on that. And then as far as the chief, that is a council's decision. So the mayor will make a recommendation to council and the council will have to, well, they don't have to, they accept it or not. So the mayor and I are working through some of that, looking at starting pay and things like that. So, but we all know Sam. But anyway, that's what's going on at City Hall. It's kind of been hit and miss. We've had not directly, not one of us with COVID, but indirectly somebody has been in touch with COVID. So we are short-staffed right now. We've been short-staffed, it seems like for a couple months. I've been in and out too. So, yeah. Do you guys have any questions? Okay.
No question. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, moving on, public hearing special presentation. We have none. New business, ordinance number 766, amending Toledo Land Development Code, first reading. It's in your packet. Ordinance 766. I'll fix that. Sorry about that. Ordinance amending the City of Toledo Land Development Code. Is a whole list. Do I have to read all that, Michelle? Top sentence. That's what I just read. So I'll entertain a motion to accept that, please. Let's vote on it first, then we'll have a question. Or you can make a motion and have discussion.
I make a motion that we talk about ordinance number 766.
So here, second.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Now it's open for discussion on the motion.
My question was, what is the amendment? Because I didn't see it on here. I just saw it was an amendment. And I'm sorry, my memory is not perfect. And so,
So we've had our public hearings on that. That's what the planning commission had brought forward to you guys. And they went through all the changes that they made to the land development codes. And you guys were okay with it. And so this is just the next step in the process, is to put it down in an ordinance form. You're welcome.
okay. All right, so we're streamlining the land use development in this shebang here. Okay.
Okay, is that all the discussion on it? Then let's vote on it. Everybody turn your mics on. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Turn your mics off. Carry on. Number 2, proclamation, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month 2021. We've always supported this. And would like to entertain a motion for this also, please.
I make a motion that we designate September as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? Let's vote on it. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Passes. And number 3, on-road ATV use. Let's put a motion out there first, and we'll have some discussion.
Actually, we could just, there's nothing to, you don't need to put a motion out there.
No.
This is just open for discussion. And basically, as it says, there's different areas that you can pass to have ATVs allowed in your city limits, as long as the speed limit's under a certain amount. They have to be regulated in a certain manner too. So they have to be roadworthy, and there are certain regulations for that, like mirrors, traffic signals, different things like that. And this is happening all around Lewis County. I know that Commissioner Stamper came in several months ago
Awesome.
and kind of said they were doing that, I think, in the Packwood, Morton area. And so this just kind of, I mean, right now we may have people that are doing it, but it is still illegal. So one of our officers may see it, know who it is, and just like, oh, let them go. But we do have sheriffs that come through and state patrol. If they see it happening and know that we don't have an ordinance approving this type of activity, that person could, get a ticket. So this would clean that up. If it's something that you guys want to pursue, I will go ahead and get an ordinance in place, but I don't want to go through the work if you guys aren't going to do it.
Go ahead, Ron.
I think that even something like our parade with Santa Claus and Christmas ATV parade would not be legal unless we had an ordinance like this per se, and certainly would eliminate any questions. And I think that when Commissioner Snapper came, that it seemed to be pretty well received, because if an individual was causing a problem, then this doesn't give them the right to do it. It just gives them the right, if they have like a side-by-side, to go to the grocery store rather than having to fire up the car. So I personally would say it's something that makes sense. So yes, no matter what, and they just don't have to. And I think it limits their ability to go onto the state highway also. Yeah. So yeah. No, I know, but it's something where we already in effect kind of condone it but it does make it correct and legal. So I would be in favor of us at least pursuing it.
Is there any other response from any
Well,
council?
My only fear, and it's just a fear, because I live right on the main Shadoop going down there, that people are gonna come tearing down that hill, as you know, like they sometimes do, but cars do that too. And my only fear is they go up the hill and then they punch the gas and flip over. But again, it's a fear, and I'm leaving it at that.
Well, to kind of respond to that, as the mayor and talking to the chief, we got our four-wheeler out there now with the speed limit. Is that correct, chief? Talk to him a little bit about it.
Sorry.
Thank you,
You
Chief.
turn this on or turn me off again? Oh, thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Don't go there. So anyway, thanks to Mike, we do have a speed radar set up again. The last one broke and we had to replace it. Thanks to Michelle and the ladies in the office, they got us another grant, which paid for it. So we got a new radar again to put out to let people know how fast they're going, which I think is a good thing, because a lot of people don't realize how fast people are going. They think they're going fast, but they're really not. Sometimes they are. But thanks, Mike. Appreciate you getting that going. So we are now going to start putting that out. So using it. So
Well, it's like
that should help.
you and I talked about, chief. It's not a fix-all, but
No.
it's awareness. And if people are aware that that thing's sitting down there, I think it's going to make them conscious to automatically start hitting the brake a little bit more each time they go down the hill. Because I did have a complaint from the people at the bottom of the hill, and they didn't show up tonight, but I didn't, anyway. They've already complained about the speeders and stuff going down the hill. So we're going to try and eliminate that as quickly as we can.
Yeah, I set the trailer there this morning with the help of Mike, and I watched it for a while and never got any speeders, but I do get some people that don't stop at the stop sign there, but not saying that it doesn't happen. So do what we can.
Does that answer your questions, Emily?
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions about the speeding thing? Okay, thanks, chief. Appreciate it. Okay, moving on to unfinished business. We
Well, I
have,
still don't have a clear answer.
sorry,
I've heard kind of a yes and I don't really care if it happens or not. So, okay. I will get an ordinance together maybe by next council meeting or the following one. Thank you.
thanks again, Michelle. Okay, unfinished business. We have a property request by David Pyles. He was here, but he left.
He's outside. If you guys have questions for him, he will come in. Do you want me to ask him to come in?
Council? Any questions?
I'm assuming that all the questions that we had were answered the last time we had after the last time we had a meeting, correct? I mean, there were some questions and I thought that they were answered, so I have none.
I was not at the last meeting, and I do have a question. Perhaps it's already been asked, but I'm gonna ask it. Where he's proposing his lot B to be, no pun intended, would we as a city need to extend the road out, or is he gonna extend the road out? And what is the cost to the city, or will it be the property owner? And
For clarification, he is not going to come in this way. He's going to
Right.
come in this way.
In
So
through
there
the-
isn't
okay.
anything at all that's going to be done on that road.
okay.
He just wants this area here to expand the size of his lot.
Mhm.
And he purchased this easement here.
Mhm.
And so my understanding that the piece of property would be appraised, and then we would establish the value on it. Then we would vacate it, and he would pay what that established value. Is that correct, Michelle?
Yeah, so what he's done is we vacated the alley between Hemlock and St. Helens a couple months ago. And so he is going to be using the front half of that alley for entrance into that property. And one of the reasons we vacated that alley too, because where lot C is at, that his triplex actually was in the alley to meet setbacks. So what he would like to do is split the lot behind into and have 2 building sites, and they would come off of Hemlock down that vacated alley and into those 2 lots. Does that help?
Yes, I was trying to figure out where.
Yeah, because like Ron kind of alluded to, St. Helens is a big gully. It doesn't go
Yeah.
all the way through.
It's,
Yeah, and so all the expense then would be borne by the developer.
Okay,
And this would be treated as a driveway to those properties and not a road.
okay,
And additionally, then there would be some payment to the city for the amount of land that.
Right. So if you guys go ahead with this vacation, that's exactly right, Ron. And I think we had attached the regulations on that.
Sure.
And so just like the alleyway, if you guys want to go forward with it, there's a process for vacating that. It has to be appraised. And then the property owners on both sides have the opportunity to purchase, that portion of the vacated whatever street alley that we do. So that's why I kind of wrote a few notes down there that we would give the cemetery an option on the half of it. I don't know that they would want it because it's probably that portion's probably all in that gully. And so it's really no benefit to them. And I know in the past, the Lions Club has talked about, they would like to do some type of trail, maybe through the cemetery and get across that gully. And so when I looked at this, I remembered that. And so I was looking at what their thoughts were, and they were actually looking at coming up more towards North 6th Street across the alley, or the gully, excuse me, there. So from the cemetery to North 6th Street. And there's a little bit of a better, it's not as steep. So.
The one other concern I have is there something that we could put into the terms to make sure that the payment is in fact made when we do this type of activity? Have we had situations in the past when individuals have agreed and then not paid?
Yes, not this last one you did, but the time before that, yes. One property owner did pay. It was with 2 separate property owners. One did pay, one did not. So we had to change the wording on the vacation part of the street so that only half of it was recorded at this
Okay.
time. And if that other property owner does come back, I mean, it's a weird situation. So do we have it reassessed? I mean, there's a fee for that. And so we only charged the property owner that paid half the cost of everything so far. And so we're out some bucks because of doing it and they're not paying. So I would say in the future, if there's 2 property owners involved in something that they both have to pay, it's for it to go through. Otherwise, it's a no-go, because now what we've got a situation is it's the middle property owner. So there's no way to get to that property any longer because the top half of the street that isn't vacated is a big gully too. So this isn't in this area, it's in a different area. But the only way you would have been able to get to that property was from the bottom half, and those people paid. So now there's no street there to traverse across. So.
And do we need to adjust our process?
No,
that we
because
have?
since we're dealing mainly with just one property owner, it doesn't happen until it's paid for.
Yeah, but I,
So,
and so in the future, we won't do it until we collect, because it's possible to have, I'm not talking about this one here. I don't think there'll be any problem with this one, but in the future, if we could have multiple, we could have 20 property owners if it's a long enough alley or long enough street.
correct.
And whether or not we need any kind of specific language in our policy that says we do not move forward until we have all the
You
money.
could put that condition on
Each one,
each, when we do.
Each
You
one
can
we
set
move
your own
forward.
condition,
Sure.
so it doesn't need to be set in
okay,
policy.
no, that's fine.
The council can set
Thank
that
you.
condition.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? We need to vote on this, correct, Michelle?
Yes, intend to move forward with the request.
Yes. Property request. I need to have a motion, please.
So do you want the motion to state with the condition of final payment of the property, or
Just a motion to move forward with the vacation.
I could do that. I make a motion that we move forward with the vacation
Do I hear a second?
of Sam.
Second.
I hear a second. Is there any more discussion? Okay, let's vote on it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all for that. Other business, we got the COVID-19 updates. Michelle?
I think we all listen to the news. I know a lot of you probably know that Commissioner Gary Stamper does have COVID-19 and is on a ventilator in the hospital in Vancouver. And there's just a lot of COVID going on. Currently, the schools are open. For how long, I don't know. Seems like we take a couple steps forward and then take 4 back. So it's just, be safe out there and, do what you feel is right. But depends on what expert you want to listen to too. So I don't want to get political on this, but there's a lot of COVID cases. The hospitals are nearing capacity, so they say. I know the hospitals too are very short staffed. So people just aren't showing up to work, as you see is happening in every realm of business. It's not just your hospital staff, it's everywhere. So, try not to hurt yourself right now with anything, because I don't want to see anybody have to go try to get into a hospital. So.
You by any chance have an update on Commissioner Stamper's
I've
condition?
heard that Commissioner Stamper's making slight improvements daily. COVID, as our own mayor knows, can be just a very, very long process. And, just a slight improvement is better than no improvement or a decline. So what I am reading from updates, that he is showing slight improvements daily.
Any other questions or things before we quit? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
I second that.
Been moved in second. I don't think we need any discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming.